Well, according to Axios and Newsmax and some other news sites, Tucker Carlson is ready to go scorched earth on Fox News.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Hey, this is Pastor Marty, and you're watching the Afternoon Drive. For more of this, make sure you're a subscriber. Smack the bell, click the word all to get notification of all of my rants. For the past couple of weeks, Fox News has been having to deal with the fallout from their own decision to fire, and unceremoniously I might add, Tucker Carlson. And of course, literally just hours after it became known that Tucker was gone, over at rival network CNN, they cut Don Lemon loose. Now, it's interesting to note that since these two firings happened, Tucker Carlson has virtually been silent. And the one and only tweet video that he did, he was actually very gracious and joked a little bit about that his wife likes having him around in the evenings. CNN has said nothing disparaging to say about Don Lemon, despite the fact that there were obvious issues between he and his morning co-hosts and the fact that he was given a suspension for his, shall we say, lack of discretion and sexual gender sensitivity in his comment about Nikki Haley being, quote, past her prime. Fox News, on the other hand, immediately couldn't just fire Tucker. They had to destroy him. They had to make sure that the audience that they were losing by the millions would not follow Tucker Carlson someplace else. So they had to try to disparage Tucker. They had to try to release text proving that he's sexist, that he's a racist. Then they were releasing video clips. Now, they say they weren't, but, Media Matters got those video clips from where? They don't have access to the Fox servers. And then, Fox News goes through the motions of sending them a cease and desist letter. Like, you stop showing what we're giving you. Stop it. The whole thing is pathetic. And it just smacks of the fact that Fox News, along with the rest of the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media, has not figured out it is a new day and time. Broadcast news was made irrelevant based on cable news. And cable news hasn't figured out it has been rendered irrelevant by this thing called the internet. This brand new invention that's only been around now, 20 years? But that's where people are going to get their news, to get their information. And so Fox is not the only game in town, and they never really were the conservative voice. And I have been saying this for years. That's why I've called them faux pas news. They were simply controlled opposition. They would throw a few bones to the conservative movement, and the conservative talking heads would go on there, and the rhinos would go on there. And along came Donald Trump, which became the game changer in that we wanted conservatives to actually be conservative and actually take real stands and to fight and to push back, especially on the fake news. And Donald Trump did that, and Fox News was all on board with Donald Trump. Then they got off that train. And Rupert Murdoch hates Donald Trump, and he really hated the fact that Tucker Carlson was exposing the whole thing. I mean, he was all over what happened on J6. He was all over what was, shall we say, election irregularities. And he was certainly all over the propaganda, which is being called the war in Ukraine. And can't have this. Can't have this. And he started to go after big pharma. And where we were lied to and manipulated for 2 years during a pandemic. And that was just it. Tucker was giving away just way too much truth on his 8 o'clock time slot. And when he started releasing those January 6 videos, it was Chuck E. Cheese Schumer in the well of the Senate who said, he's got to go. And I don't know what they got on Rupert and the boys, but whatever it is, Tucker was gone. Now we know what we all suspected, that They were going to drag out the legality of his contract negotiation because he's under contract until 2025, January of 2025. Well, what happens in November of 2024? That's right, an election. They want to silence Tucker Carlson because Fox News wants to determine this next election. They want their boy DeSantis. And over the weekend, ABC did some polling that they released, and it's not looking good for Joe Biden. All of a sudden, Trump is now beating Joe Biden in the ABC poll. And I know polls, it's too early. But they also had a sub-headline. Ron DeSantis is surging. Yeah, but he's still losing by a margin of 25 points to Donald Trump. He's not surging. That's fictitious, hopeful thinking on ABC, which apparently I guess maybe wants to join up with Fox News and try to perpetuate a Ron DeSantis run. Yeah, good luck with that, because we're going to expose that deep stater for exactly what he is. You'll never get the conservatives, you'll never get the Trump voters, and you're certainly not going to get the people on the left who thinks he's an enemy of Mickey Mouse and gay people. So good luck trying to launch Ron DeSanctimonious. You have fun with that. But Donald Trump is beating Joe Biden in the polls now. And Fox News does not want to give any breath, any wind to Donald Trump. So they cut off Tucker Carlson. They've lost millions of viewers. They've lost the key demographic. They're getting beat every night now by CNN and MSNBC in that 8 o'clock time slot. And it's affecting Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham. The only one that does seem to be affecting is Gutfeld, or I call him Gut Check. But that all said, that all said, Tucker is going to break his contract because he wants to be back. I think he ought to moderate one of the debates with Donald Trump. I think that would be great. And if he would go to a place like Newsmax, what he could do for that channel. And they're offering him $100 million plus basically run it. Elon Musk has thrown his hat into the ring with an offer. Whatever it is, in short order, Tucker's going to be back on the air. Megyn Kelly is cheering him on. Look, walk away from the salary and just go do your thing. And then make Fox News take you to court. And then we'll know what we always knew. They were trying to silence him during the election cycle. So, we're keeping an eye out on the Tucker situation, but that's what's happening now, and this has been a Monday mini rant.